Hello, 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 beautiful people. How are you? I hope everything is fine because today we will survive the waiting room curse. Of course, my brother. Of course we will. Of course we will. It's not even a real thing anymore, you know. It's not even a real thing anymore, the waiting room, you know. It's been very successful in the last, in the past. So I feel like it's going to be successful again. So guys, let me know if the audio is fine, if you need that to be a little bit lower, because sometimes I've rewatched the live and maybe it's a little bit too high, the audio. So let's jump into it. Let's jump into it, guys. I can't wait to talk about this. Finally, we have something to talk about in terms of football. The dogs outside of my house are going absolutely crazy, so apologize for that. I'm sure that they will shut up at some point. We will sort. Okay. Good evening, Kat. How are you doing? I'm doing very well, my brother. I'm doing very well. Very excited for this news about Savio. Really looks like is a real interest and a real offer from us. So how can you not be really excited? And today in this live we're gonna talk about why I'm so excited about it. Hey Jaco, how are you, man? I'm very good, brother. Very good. As I repeat, how can you not be very good when you join Twitter? Tonight I've opened Twitter after I got up because I needed to go to the bathroom at night. I went to football Twitter and I said, what the fuck are we doing, you know? Is this a dream? I'm still very sleepy, or this is the true fucking world? And in the end, it's a true word. We want Savinho, and I'm really excited for it. Absolutely excited for it. I know that it wasn't a name that was really on my radar. I have to be 100% with you. I made video about this. I didn't believe it, also because in the report that they said to us, is that we want a number 10, not a winger. So I was not expecting a winger. And even in the video that I made about, and thank you guys in the chat, I'm coming to respond to every single one of you. If you want to make question, we have also the tactical board. We will go to the tactical board and we will understand what is Savinho, what is his profile, and what we can expect in our team. So just wait a little bit and I will respond to everyone. Thank you very much. But the thing that I'm saying is that I made also a video about what we need as a number 10. And now that video, for example, that is yesterday or the other day, it's completely useless. Like, things change completely now, because I didn't expect us to get someone like Savinho on the wing, because before Savinho we had, like, for example, Odober, that was the profile that I liked the most, but he was clearly not at the level that Savinho is in this moment, and there is no shame in saying that, even though Odober will become a very good player. And the other option was Brennan Johnson. So when I said what we need in the number 10, I said someone very good in the 1-against-1, someone that can drive the ball a lot, because I didn't think that we had that option on the wide area. Now we have Savinho, so the profile in terms of number 10 changed completely. We don't need anymore someone that drives a lot with the ball. We don't need someone that have a lot the ball on his feet, like for example the Bereciese, that is primarily a dribbler, is primarily someone that drives the ball. Is not someone that will pass a lot first time. He obviously can, because he have a very good technical ability, but we need someone with more characteristic in terms of passing, in terms of getting the ball to our two top fucking wingers. For the first time in our life, I'm not saying our life because of course there was a very good period of time to be a Tottenham fan, but the first time in a lot of years that we can have two wingers that gets us excited. When they are on the ball, we will get up, we will not stay down, we will expect something to happen. So that is immense. It will change how good we are, and will change how much the opposition treat us with respect, because now with Kudus and Savinho you can't be completely blind against us, because we are going to fucking destroy you in that sense. But I'm gonna respond to everyone in the chat, so sorry if I left you on red. Oh, sorry. On train back from Lucca and have no signal. I'm sorry, brother. I hope that you can still follow the stream. But Lucca, you are Italian, my brother. Lovely to see also some Italians here. Are you leaving on Wednesday? Yes, I will leave on Wednesday to go to Udine. I'm not doing a vlog or anything like that. Of course, I'm not that kind of a YouTuber, but I'm going there. Maybe I'm doing a live reaction after the game. Maybe a live from Udine. Who knows? There is a plenty of possibilities. Is Savio going to be a starter? Bro, he's going to be the president. He's different. No, I'm joking, but he obviously going to be the starter is Savio. We're gonna talk also on why, and I'm gonna follow this comment by Mo, and I will say, of course, he's going to be a starter, guys. I know that there are huge Brennan Johnson fan, and there are huge Odobert fan. I am a huge Odobert fan, but Savio is coming to be a starter. And I'm already seeing people saying, but who will play on the right? Who will play on the left? Kudus and Savio. Kudus and Savio. Kudus and Savio. Don't care. They are both left-footed. Don't care. Don't fucking care. Especially Savio is someone that is able also to play on the left and to be very consistent with his dribbles, because he's not predictable. He's not someone that goes on the inside. He can go outside, he can score. Maybe we're going to talk about it later, because he didn't have the best output in terms of scoring in Manchester City. Let's not forget that he had the 17 goals and assists in the La Liga at the first season, and Rodrigo is a player that, of course, is on the radar of top teams, never got those kind of goals. Of course, different situations, but I feel like we need to put context later about the scoring. But in terms of 1-against-1, Savio can go on the left, on the right, and even if he's left-footed, he can play on the left. So I'm not buying the narrative that Kudus, I don't even feel like Kudus in the number 10 in this moment would work, but maybe yes. You know, we have a lot of possibilities. The best possibility that I have in my mind is Kudus on one side, Savio on the other, and in the middle a passer, an elite passer that will give the ball to them too, and they will steal and keep feeding them all game. The defenders, the fullback doesn't need to have 1 second to breathe against those wingers. They need to be relentless. So that's where you want them. That's where you have them at the best. Thank you so much for the guys that are watching. I see that we touch also 50 people live. If you really want to support the channel, leave a like, leave a comment, or subscribe. I would really appreciate it. But I'm not saying this again. So ciao amico, ciao fratello, ciao. Are you also Italian? Sean Michael, yes, he's Italian. Tell was just brought. Yeah, but we don't need to worry about Tell. Okay, Tell is a 19-year-old player. He will have his development. He will be, and when he will really get to the level that he should be, he will have a spot. And I feel like the Tell spot needs to be more concentrated on the striker role more than the winger. So I'm not putting Tell and Savio as connected. You know, I feel like there are two different profiles and two different roads for them. Tell is not ready yet. I feel like he's also quite underrated. He's not as bad as people say. Still a lot to improve. Still a lot to improve, of course. Savio, Eze, and Bisa, please. I don't understand this. I don't understand the fact that Savio, Eze, and Bisa. I feel like we can do better, and of course, if we get Eze, who am I to not be excited? Okay, I'm just mentioning that in my opinion, in terms of profile, Eze is not the best that we can have. That doesn't mean that Eze can't work. Eze is a top player, so I can fully understand it. Bisa, I'm not fully understanding Bisa. He's not really a striker. He's a little bit of a hybrid profile. And I feel like if there is one thing that we lack, if we get Savio, of course we're talking about Savio, but maybe this will turn into a nightmare. But if there is one thing that we lack, is Savio on one side, Kudus on the other, and in the middle a top real striker. Solanke is a good striker. He's not a top striker. I've always said it, in my opinion. I might be too harsh. Maybe this season he will prove me wrong. But in this moment, I'm seeing Solanke as a good striker, not a top striker. So if I need to add something, he's a top striker. So a lot of messages, so I'm trying to get to everyone. We probably Amr Belawan. I hope that I'm saying right your name. I apologize if I've completely destroyed your name. We probably go for Bilal El Kannous if we get Savio. Lovely. How can you be against? I'm not saying that you are against that, but how can you be against that? Bilal El Kannous is exactly a creative passer. He's a creative outlet. He's not someone that is so strong and fast to be a driver of the ball constantly. He's someone that can play one touch, two touch. So it will be, in my opinion, a perfect fit. If I need to take the perfect one, is Nico Paz, 100%. Even more now that we got Savinho. Nico Paz, that is a creative outlet, someone that doesn't need to have the ball too much in his feet. He just needs one or two touches, and he's always turning on the right way. I feel like he is going to be very important, especially with Savinho, but someone like Bilal El Kannous, in my opinion, is the most realistic and also one of the best options that we have in this moment. Luka Vuskovic has now given the green light to low move to Hamburg. Okay, this is a news. Thank you so much, Sean. Yeah, Luka Vuskovic to Hamburg makes a lot of sense, especially with the past with his brother. We will get Paz and Savinho. Brother, don't even joke about this. You don't understand how much everything will change if we get Paz and Savinho. So I really hope, Joe, that we get it. I don't want to get excited, the Morgan Gibbs White saga scared me, but man, such a fucking insane signing, absolutely, brother. Vuskovic likely to move to Hamburg, yes, bro. Front three of Savio, Tel, Kudus can work, but Tel needs to improve in certain things. His general play, his decision making, is not as of a threat as I would love him to be in the final third. So yes, in terms of profile, in terms of idea, that front three is top. Tel needs to improve a little bit more, but that would be ultimately our best front three if everyone developed rightly. First signing in a long time, and I'm actually excited for. Even Kudus was very excited, to be fair, but Savinho is maybe a little bit more even exciting. We're going to get a number 10 as well, by the way, and it's very obviously it's Eze. I don't think that it's as obvious as you make out. Thoughts on João Palhinha, lovely signing from us. Let's forget completely the first game that he played. He was clearly not fit enough, he was clearly out of phase, he was clearly out of rhythm. He just got to Tottenham 2 days before after a long injury at Bayern Munich, so I'm not judging anything on the first game against Bayern Munich, but this guy, in terms of profile, was again exactly what we needed, in my opinion. For me, Thomas Frank with Tottenham is not doing maybe too many signings, but the signings that he's making are absolutely incredible. They are exactly what we need. So very happy for it. So João Palhinha is another one that, in my opinion, will improve a lot our defensive structure and our physical game in midfield. Can we move Can we move Bissouma, Richarlison, and get a striker? Would be perfect. Perfect to move on a player like Bissouma that is clearly completely done with Tottenham. I don't even think that he's a bad player, Bissouma. I feel like he can shine, he can do well in another maybe mid-table Premier League club. It's just not made for the top level, mainly because of inconsistency, maybe because of lack of concentration during the game, maybe also for a lack of understanding sometimes of the defensive situation, but he's still a player that we can sell and we can achieve a little bit of money. So I hope that we can get some money for Bissouma. Same thing for Richarlison, a player that I absolutely love. I said it, I absolutely love. I don't think that he's a top striker, but I absolutely love Richarlison. I love his personality. I love the fact that he's relentless, he never stopped, he never gave up. Even if he missed the biggest chance, he will be there making, like, I love a lot of things about Richarlison, but he's not anymore. And with all the injuries and with the inconsistency also by himself, he's also someone that we need to move on in order to improve. So they are both players that I'm not saying that they are shit players, but they are players that we can easily replace. So this is the time. Savinho is a creative machine. His output is questionable, but I trust Cochrane to improve it. It's not about Cochrane. Cochrane won't do miracles. Is the fact that Savinho... Okay, I'm gonna go 1 second into the tactical board. Okay, follow me 1 second. Okay, so he's not here. Is here. Okay, I feel like now you can see it. Let me see. I won't see the chat in this minute, but we will understand, and later we're gonna talk about what I'm trying to say right now. So let's say Savinho is this number 11 against Manchester City. Okay, Manchester City, what they do a lot. What they do? No, sorry. what they do a lot, Manchester City. They try to occupy a lot the box. But with what? With what? A lot of time with midfielders. So the thing that Savio did for 95% of the season is to be on this side, drive the ball, and try to put it into the box. Okay, this was basically the job of Savio. The job of Savio and Doku. There was some situation, of course, where Savio missed some chances, but it is all about what Guardiola was asking him to do. It was more of a possibility in Manchester City a lot of time, as they put a low block, as they force the low block, that the number 6 is scoring sometimes, other than the winger. Also, the wingers in Manchester City in general, they don't score too much. They don't score too much. Jeremy Doku don't score too much. He had a lot of assists. I don't know how many assists, okay, Savio got last season. I don't remember it from on top of my mind, but I'm sure that Savio was someone that assisted a lot last season, and he's also someone that didn't get involved too much into the scoring area. Okay, so in that, of course, in that tactic board, I wanted to show you very quickly. Of course, we're gonna redo it. Is the fact that I don't know if you agree with me. Of course, maybe someone can have a different opinion, but a lot of times, guys, if the ball is on other side, is the number 10, the number 6, even the 2 fullback. Manchester City does a lot. They need a lot of numbers to play against Manchester City, okay? Because they will try to get more people, even from the fullback, from midfield. But the wingers in Manchester City are tricky one. They try to get to the byline and then ball inside. How many times we saw that? How many times we saw that? Or they try, what they do also, it's they try to drive the ball, the fullback goes here, pass to the fullback, and they're through. Like we saw this 200 times with Manchester City Guardiola in the last season. So I don't understand why we are so surprised that Savio doesn't get too many goals. Okay, so I'm sorry if I took too much time on this concept, but I feel like he got 10 assists. So it's exactly what I was saying in the tactic board. Like his job is to create, to try to put the ball into the box, or to wait for the overlap of the fullback, just in order to score. So I feel like we can understand why he didn't score too much in this one season. I feel like if Savio was playing as a number 10 or as a number 8, he's not the profile, but he would score way more. I don't know what's the statistic now. If someone can help me, I don't know what's the statistic of the wingers of Manchester City last season in terms of scoring. And wingers, I'm not saying Foden because he's not a winger. I'm not saying other because they are not wingers. And someone said, oh, but Núñez got more goals. It's normal. Núñez played as a midfielder or as a fullback. And in the Pep Guardiola system, the wingers are the one that gets in the box maybe less than the other players. So he got 11 in the league. Wow, 11 is so fucking much. Savio is a creative machine. Yes. If we sign a striker, who would you like? I was loving to, for example, to say to you a very realistic signing, a very realistic profile that I wanted and we didn't get, and now it's too late. It was Guirassy, for example. Not a fancy name, not an extremely young player, not someone too expensive because it was 50 million when Dortmund got him, but in my opinion was the best signing that we could have made last season. We decided to go with Solanke. With all the due respect, I still believe that Guirassy was the right move to make. A pure finisher, someone that gets into the box, knows what to do in terms of movement into the box, knows how to battle, have a great ball striking. I want someone that strikes the ball cleanly. That's the thing that I'm missing the most from Solanke, especially watching Harry Kane for 90% of my life. The ball striking is too different. And as a striker, having a bad ball striking technique is really limiting. So I would go for someone like Guirassy. Guirassy obviously is not available. It's a risk what I'm saying right here, and I don't know if I will back. But Vlahovic, for example, Dusan Vlahovic from Juventus is another striker with striker instincts, with very good ball striking. I'm not complete. There was Matteo Retegui, another player from Atalanta that went to Saudi Arabia, so now it's too late. Was someone is saying Vlahovic? Yeah, you can laugh about Vlahovic. And that's why I'm saying that I'm just suggesting it without exposing myself too much. But as characteristic in terms of ball striking, in terms of finishing with the left foot, he's a top player. Then your Italian bias is insane. It's not about Italian bias, it's that you talk about what you have knowledge. You know, that's what I always do in my platform. So I watch a lot of Premier League, I watch a lot of Serie A, and I watch some of the teams around Europe. But I can't suggest it a striker from Ligue 1 if I didn't watch him closely. So that's it. So I'm someone that follows very much Serie A. I'm someone that follows very much Premier League. So I will try to suggest top players from the Serie A. I feel like it's normal. Everyone does it. So it's not about Serie A. I don't think that the Serie A is the best league in the world. Clearly it's not. Clearly the Premier League is much better. So I'm not someone that will say it. Are you Jewish? Absolutely not. You will say this because of the big nose. I don't know. Is that a joke? If that's a joke, quite funny one. Kane as a release. Ken. Okay. Moise Ken is another one that, in my opinion, would be lovely. And people will start crying about it, I know, but Moise Kean developed so much as a player since his days in Everton. I feel like this season he showed his real talent in the Serie A. He scored something like 22 goals, and his power, his ability to play not with the back to his goal, the ability to score from outside of the box, inside of the box, first time finish, headers. I feel like he's a much better profile, is a much better option than Vlahovic. If I need to choose between Ken and Vlahovic, I will choose Ken. So thank you so much for suggesting it in the chat. There is another one to go away from the Serie A. There is another one that is a different one, but I don't know if he's yet a Bayern Munich player, but Voltemad from Stuttgart. I don't know if you can say Voltemad, I don't know how he calls. That guy would be insane for me. That guy is a top striker. His heading ability is insane. He's very agile, very good in terms of dribbling. He can link up the play very much. He can drop deep, even if I don't feel like we will need that too much, but he can be a real presence in midfield. So Voltemad is Bayern bound. I can fully understand that. For me, he's a top striker. A profile like Isaac, a profile like Etikite, a profile that is very tall, agile, and very complete. That I feel like in the future, in the modern football, that kind of profile would be the one that will dominate the striker position. The deal as told, yes, that's why I'm saying that maybe there is a possibility to get Voltemade. I will try to do it as soon as possible and as the first choice. Dobvik is not really good in my opinion. Dobvik lacks too much of agility, is too stiff, more or less similar to Vlahovic in certain ways in terms of stiffness. I feel like he's struggling a lot in Roma. I'm not seeing him as confident and as a real striker as we need. Moise Kean, in my opinion, is a much better striker. Ooh, wow, Sean Michael, thank you so much for the suggestion. Do you think Soulé could be a number 10? Yes, I think like Soulé can be whatever he wants in his career. Like his quality, his left foot is insane. I don't feel like he's a pure winger. I feel like he's still an interior forward. So as a number 10, the transition will be quite smooth. If we can get Soulé, it would be incredible. Other than Dybala is the best player in Roma, and Dybala is never fit, so he might be in the end the best player in Roma, because Dybala, as we know, have a lot of problems in terms of injuries. I don't know if we can get now Soulé after last season, like the last half of last season. He was the key member of Roma in terms of scoring, in terms of creativity, so it's not going to be an easy deal at all. So I've missed some messages. Ken as a release clause, lovely. Doku got 7 assists, Grealish 2 assists, and Savino 11 assists. So that tells you how well he did the job that Guardiola was asking him to do. Okay. What are your thoughts on Lookman? Come on, you know my thoughts on Lookman. You know my thoughts on Lookman. Joking aside, I would prefer Savio. Okay, in this moment, if I need to choose, I would prefer Savio because Savio is much more of a profile of the one against one demon that I love, that I really missed. Lookman is a one against one demon in certain ways. Okay, he is a top one against one player, but he's more of a ball striker. He's more of a finisher. He's more of someone that can score from outside of the box, inside of the box. In my opinion, it was more. He was the best like for like replacement for Heung-min Son. Okay, a player that thrive on transition. That would be very nice for us. But he's also someone that is very, 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 very reliable in terms of the in front of goal. So that's what I'm saying about Lookman. In my opinion, would be a top signing, as Savinho would be. Two different profiles, but I feel like maybe Savinho can improve a little bit more our situation in this moment. But that's hypothetical, you know. It's very tough to say. Two top players, regardless. But I feel like Lookman is more interbound, so I wouldn't really put too many thoughts on that. Isn't Voltemade Bayern? Yes, the deal is still okay. Okay. Isn't Savio too expensive? No. What are you talking about? Depend on what's the price. If it's 100 million, of course it's too expensive. If it's 50, 60, it's absolutely fine for the level of the player and for the age of the player. So no. Jaco always gets Ekitike wrong. Okay, it's Ekitike, not Etikite. Okay, thank you so much. I will never get it right though. Would Brennan as the 9 be a shout? No. I can't stress enough. Please, guys, don't start doing this. Johnson can't be a striker. Can't be a striker. So I'm gonna say it. Why, for example? Why? Let's put that we are the blue one. No, we are the red. No, we can't be the red one. So let's put everyone in place. So why Brennan Johnson is not and will never ever be a striker, in my opinion, not even close, because of one great thing. So when we have maybe the ball, and let's say that Brennan Johnson is not facing the goal but is facing this side. Okay, so everyone is pressing up front. Okay, let's say, okay, this is an hypothetical situation that will happen a lot of time. They are pressing us so hard. Some teams does it in a crazy way. Okay, this is a situation that maybe will never even happen because it's very offensive, but that can happen in certain ways. Okay, so ball to us, we can't find a way to find one of our men. There is Brennan Johnson here. Pass to Brennan Johnson. Okay, this is the situation where the striker needs to really shield the ball, wait for the runs, and try to play the ball. In this situation, we're gonna lose this game 7-0. 7-0, because every time that the defender goes here, the ball will go to the defender and they will keep applying pressure. Brennan Johnson here will never do the job of shielding the ball. He's not a top passer, so even these kind of passes in the lines, they are not someone that he will pull consistently. So his physicality is not top, so even if he gets the ball, he will get out of possession quite easily. So I feel like Brennan Johnson as a 9 would be an absolute disaster, like Son was. Son was an absolute disaster. The only moment where Brennan Johnson can be very good in the number 9, if we have this situation, for example, and he makes the run. Sorry, we have this situation. He makes the run. We pass the ball. He is fast, and he will go. Okay. So if he will go and then shoot, this is the only situation where you can find Brennan Johnson being very useful. Other than that, it's an absolute disaster of a move to put Brennan Johnson as the number 9. So that was the reason why, of course, in my opinion, is a bit of a disaster. So who asked that? What a boomer Jaco is? Oh, we can't see. Oh, sorry, sorry, sorry. 1 second, I'm doing it again. 1 second, sorry. Sorry. Now I can. Okay, we have everything ready. So very easily. No, I'm not doing everything again because you understood what I'm saying, but I just wanted to show this because this is quite a good tactical board also. So I wanted to. So the problem that we have is this: when we need the striker to really hold up the play, Okay, 1 second. Okay, to hold up the play and try to move with the ball and maybe try to get when he's not facing the goal, but when he's facing our goal. In this moment, Brennan Johnson will be a disaster, and the defender will win the ball a lot of time, keeping applying pressure into our defense. So I feel like this is an absolute disaster in a lot of ways. And even if Brennan Johnson is able somehow to shield the ball and to find a pass, is not a good passer like Kane. So the pass can be a little bit too long and we lose too many touches and too much time. So I don't trust him not facing the goal. I don't trust him to shield the ball, and I don't trust him to pass the ball. Similar to Heung-min Son. The only way, and I will repeat this and then we will move on, the only way that Brennan Johnson will be very, very effective is this situation. Okay, when he run in the channel, he get the ball, he move with the ball, and then he will score. Okay, I've just made a mistake, but you get it. Now I got completely out of it, so it's not going to be. Okay, so this is what I wanted to say. So Brennan Johnson is too limited. He will not allow us to get out of any situation, and will a lot apply pressure to us when is not needed. So in my imagination, the tactic board was golden. Thank you so much, brother. Is not, and now I also made a mistake because I wanted to do something, but. Okay, no worries, goat. Thank you so much. I'm not a goat, but thank you so much. Rip my ears. Why, brother? It's too much? Let me know if it's too high, the level of the volume. I can maybe get this a little bit down. You improved a lot in a week. That's not true. I just I just finished talking 5 minutes without a tactical board, and I thought that I had the tactical board. So we are improving, but we are still a long way to go. We need to sell Brennan Johnson, Johan Lesson is saying. Not good enough. Maybe in the future, next season, yes. Okay. Paris Saint-Germain exclude Gigio Donnarumma from their squad. Let's go. Arguably the best keeper in goal in the world, and we will not have that against. A little bit of a good news, I'm saying, a fucking good news. So, no Donnarumma. Courtois is better? More or less. Will Zabarni play against us? I'm not sure. I feel like he can 100%. He's not. He took a little bit of time since they signed him, so I feel like he can. But where is? Okay. Unfortunately, guys, I don't know anymore how to use the tactical board that I was using before, because I don't know why I've cancelled everything that I made in preparation of the stream. So that's not a problem, though. That's not a problem. João Neves is out as well. That's a huge news. Also Hakimi. Maybe we can in the end. We should learn selling players at their peak value, such as Brennan Johnson and Kulusevski. Kulusevski, no, I'm saying no. I'm blocking that transfer by myself. Kulusevski is a player that, in my opinion, will help us to reach the next level and to compete for the best trophies. I don't treat Kulusevski in the same way I treat Brennan Johnson. No way. No way. I feel like Kulusevski is heavily underrated from our fan base. Do you think Brennan Johnson is good enough to play for the top club in the Premier League? No, I don't think so. Chevalier will sell for PSG. That's the guy that they brought. So it cost them 40 million. So I'm pretty sure that he will be the one. Let me see if I can get back the The tactical board. No, I can't. Okay, so we need to do it without it. Okay, so rate this window, Jaco. Dembele, oh sorry, Robinson left back, Savino left winger, Eze central attacking midfield, and Vlahovic striker. A good 8.5. 8.5. With a better striker, with a better left back, would be 10. And even maybe with no, Eze is good enough, of course, but I would prefer El Canus for his passing ability. That is better than Eze, in my opinion. That's a great news. That all we need is Doué, and yeah, now all we need is Doué, Dembele, Kvaratskhelia, Vitinha. Yeah, I'm driving 5 hours to watch that game in 2 days, so I'm the first one that would love to see them out. Not in a long way, because I have nothing against those guys, but YouTube streams are good, are cool, but I miss how everyone could join the voice chat. I'm working on that, okay? I don't want to be alone every time. I will have collaborations, but also yourself, you guys that are in the comments. I always love to bring yourself up and have a conversation with me. So I'm understanding how to do it on YouTube. I'm sure that we can do it also here, Surendra. So just let me work, and we will improve also in that sense, and we will be a real community. So if we get a goalkeeper, right back, center back, left back, yeah, come on. I would sign players from outside the Prem. Yes, I'm a huge fan of signing players from outside of the Premier League. You know it. I feel like outside of the Premier League we have the best deals possible. Then the Premier League can get you very good deals, of course, but the best deals, in my opinion, are always outside of the Premier League, because you can spend little money getting top players, and that's the thing that can get you to the next level more than anything. Of course, sometimes you need to add the player that you know already that is world class, that you know already that is good enough, but sometimes you need to get them outside of the Premier League. Do you have any Italian team? No, brother. I don't have it. Trust me, I don't have it. The only thing that I like is Napoli, because I have some... no, I'm not a Lazio fan. Absolutely not. They're a little bit racist, Lazio in general. Not the fans, of course, the ultra, let's say. The ultra are quite racist, so I'm not putting myself in fascist. Here we go, is fascist and also racist. So I'm someone that I absolutely hate racism and fascism, so I will never be associated with something like that. So Napoli is a little bit more of a city of freedom, city of passion, city where people really, you can feel the passion walking into the streets, so that's where I can be associated with. But my only team and my only passion and my only club is Tottenham, and will always be Tottenham. There is a segment called Premier League Proven. It's nice, Premier League Proven, but how many times we had success with Premier League Proven? I want you guys in the chat to tell me how many times we've been successful as a club with Prem Proven players in the last 5 years. I'm waiting to understand who is from the Premier League an absolute success that we had. As you saying, HJH, not many, because not many are there. Richarlison come to mind. Is Richarlison being a successful signing? I said 5 years, Surendra. If not, there was also Wanyama. If not, there was also Alderweireld from Southampton. If not, there was also Dembele from Fulham. So I said in the last 5 years for a reason. You know? Okay, Jacob, please check on the transfer market. Yes, I can do that. We can do that. So okay. So not 20. No. Okay, maybe I found it. Okay. You can't do all time. Okay, so here, but how can I do all time? I'm just seeing this 25, 26. How can I do all time? Do you know, guys? So I don't know, so next time I will try to understand how to do it. I'm not trying to do something that I'm not comfortable with, so I'm sorry. Next time I will try to do it. Now I'm losing too much time to understand how to do it. Okay, you wrote all of them in the chat. Thank you so much. If you can do it, I can read it on the chat and I lose less time. If not, I will lose too much time, and I will bore people for no reason. James Madison is a success? No, he's not, bro. Unfortunately, he's not. Fortunately, James Madison is not a success at Tottenham. We can say it. Someone gets offended by it. James Madison has been not a success at Tottenham, and not for his qualities, because the qualities are there. All of them, where, bro? I don't see it. Oh, here we go. Okay, thank you so much, Daniel. Okay, Daniel showed to us what are our most expensive arrivals from the Premier League. So let's go with 20 million plus. So this is what you call Prem proven, a player that will cost a little bit because he's proven in the Prem, so the price will be high. We have, okay, Solanke. Guys in the chat also, success or not for you? Straightforward. I want to see some opinions also of you. What do you think about Solanke? Success or not? No way, H said. No, Kian said. No, Toji said. In between, Daniel said. Might be true, is not a fool. Neither, rightly so, Nicholas is saying. So I don't think he can be good enough, Toji said. In my opinion, he's not been a success. He's not been a disaster. Okay, we can say that he's not been a disaster, but he's not been a success. Solanke. 60 million for a striker that doesn't consistently score and doesn't strike fears to the opposition, for me, is not a success. He's overpriced. If it was 20 million, 25 million, I would be very, very, very happy with it. Even though, I repeat, Guirassy went for 50 million to Borussia Dortmund and scored 35 goals in the first season after he scored 40 the season before. That's where I don't feel like he's going to be the same level. But so Solanke is the first one. Okay, Kudus, too early to say. Too early to say. The signs are a yes, a huge yes. The signs of Kudus is that he's a huge success, but I don't feel like we have enough time, of course, to fully understand. Too early. Okay, so we can all vote too early, but he will come good. 99.9% of chance. Okay, let's say 99.9% of chance that Kudus will become a success. 0.1 in football need always to be open, but it will be very unlikely that Kudus won't be a success at Tottenham, let's be real. So other than that, we have Richarlison, 60 million. Okay, Richarlison in the chat. Very quickly, type yes, no, yes, no, yes, no. Do you feel Richarlison it was a success or not? Do you feel Richarlison it was a success or a fail? Fail from H, no Toji, no Kian. So, Richie is crap. Someone said, respect Richie because I'm one of the biggest fan of Richie. Flop. Thanks for the shift in the final. You need to say it. Huge no. The dispersal is saying a huge no, not even a no, a huge no. Yes is a no, is a no. Richarlison has been bad money spent. He didn't improve us in the long term, in the short term. Too many injuries, he's too inconsistent. I really rated him, especially after the 2 goals against Marseille that I remember in the Champions League. I thought that we had the striker that had that that feeling, that quality of a player that will play well in the big occasion, that will all, but no. Richard Solanke, I'm going crazy. And people will look me funny, people will make fun of me, and I will look stupid maybe. I prefer Richarlison. Not saying that he's a better player, not saying anything, I just prefer personally Richarlison. I would sell before Richarlison than Solanke. Yeah, Solanke clears, you can say that. Boo, of course you can boo me. Is a personal thing, it's not an objective thing. I love that Richarlison have, at least sometimes he gives you the feeling that he's a real striker, that can really live all 90 minutes just for one moment. He can live all 90 minutes just for one time, for just one touch, for just one shot. Like, you see the hunger, you see everything behind it. Then he doesn't have the technical abilities, okay. Solanke, I don't see that. I don't see that. I don't see in Solanke that hunger, that really someone that wants to not maybe do much in the rest of the game, but he wants to score so bad, that he will sacrifice his family almost to do it. Like, Richarlison gives me that kind of impression of someone that is desperate to score every time. Solanke doesn't have it, in my opinion. Now, we're not going to talk about Himot in this live. For me, he doesn't know anything about transfers, as 90% of the ITKs. I don't have anything against him personally. I just don't like the ITKs that are spitting nonsense around the fan base. So we got to, so the other one, 20+ million, Brennan Johnson. Success or not? Maybe Brennan Johnson can be also a success for what he did in the Premier League in terms of scoring, but in terms of long term, bro, not a success. Not someone that's on the long term will take you to the next level, and you paid 50 million for it. So in the end, like Solanke is in between Johnson. We can talk bad about Johnson, but in the end he was very useful, he was very functional, he scored a lot of times, he was reliable in certain ways, but his general play is too bad for a 50 million play. Then there is Maddison. I'm going a little bit more quick so we can move on also from this conversation. Maddison, 40 million, always injured, never had 3 games in a row, not a success. Then you have Moussa Sissoko that you wanted to add, even though he's not in the last 5 years. Moussa Sissoko, not a bad player, because in the end, with his all his limitations, he always tried to do something, but not a huge success. Bissouma, not a success. Darren Bent and Bentley, we go way after the 5 years mark. Maddison is the worst of them. I feel like for the expectation and for the hype that he had, Maddison was the worst of them in the end. With Maddison, we thought that we got the creative outlet that was resolving every single problem, and in the end it was not the truth. When he was fit, he played 1 game well and 2 played not really well, and when he's injured, he needed time to get back. So it's been really disappointing for me signing also James Maddison. Yeah, Darren Bent and Bentley were shit also. That's the thing. I'm not even going to after the 5 years mark. Premier League or Serie A, Jaco? Premier League. In my opinion, I would really more appreciate the Premier League. I appreciate more watching the Premier League, higher quality, higher intensity, and more talent in general. But the Serie A, in my opinion, is becoming very underrated because of a lot of talent, young talent that are coming up, especially because Serie A doesn't have the money to spend it on top players, so they need to create their own players, more or less. And that's always something that, for example, Ligue 1 did, and that's why Ligue 1 had a lot of top talents coming up to in that league. So I feel like the Serie A is becoming more and more like Ligue 1. So Prem Proven is more like Prem prices with shit quality. Shit quality maybe not, but Prem prices. And Prem prices are not joking around. You can play a mediocre player 50 million. Because he did 1 good season. 1 good season in the Premier League, you cost 50 million. And the most worrying one are the ones that are playing for Crystal Palace, Nottingham Forest, all these type of teams, you know. The mid-table team. That maybe they had, for example, a very good structure tactically. They had also some other good players around them, but they are in a team that it doesn't look as well in terms of name of the top 6. And if you have something like, for example, 15 goals, oh my god, it's generational. Oh my god, it's 80 million. Oh my, 15 goals. You can get 15 goals if you are the main and the only output of a team of mid-table. You can easily get 15 goals. Also because mid-table teams in the Premier League are not really playing low block too much. They try always to move forward. They try always to play good football, especially at home. So, like for example, let's put Solanke as an example. 19 goals in Bournemouth, and everyone said, "Oh, but when it comes to Tottenham, he will have 25 goals in the Premier League." It's not working like that. It's not working like that. I'm sorry. In Bournemouth, he was one of the few outlets. He was one of the few to score. Now with Tottenham, especially with Savio, Kudus, Kulusevski, other people, Sar, even, you will have a lot more to do and a lot more players around you that can score. So those players that can score will take away your goals also. That's why I feel like expecting 25 goals from Solanke in a season of the Premier League is very unrealistic. Maybe that can happen if Kudus and Savinho create a lot of chances, of course. So disappointed we sold Lo Celso. Come on, you are not disappointed that we sold Lo Celso. There is a reason those clubs are calling selling clubs. Absolutely, they are so good at selling. What do you think about Invert the Wing? That I'm just said, you know, that he blocked me. I had so much fun with him, but unfortunately, I feel like maybe I was too heavy on him, so he blocked me. Unfortunately, I still believe that he's a top creator on Twitter. He's very funny, so it's bad that he blocked me, but what can you do? I'm a grown man. I won't cry about it. Why did we loan out all of our youngsters this year? Because maybe we don't think that we can give the minutes that they deserve. Last season, with for example, Mikey Moore last season, how many minutes you gave to Mikey Moore in the end? Very few, and not very useful one. So why you need to do the same this seaon? Play Ben Davies few minutes, like give Ben Davies few minutes. He doesn't need to improve, he just needs to leave as soon as possible. With the youngster, you need to give them minutes, a lot of them. As Italian, Donnarumma or Vicario? Donnarumma is better, even though sometimes it might gimmick on Twitter, let me say that Vicario is better. Donnarumma is clearly a much better keeper. Vicario, I rate Vicario highly, but Donnarumma is generational by definition. At 16 years old, he was the keeper of AC Milan. I don't feel like we understand how huge that is. Any idea on Jean Lucumi? Very good player from Bologna, very good centre-back. Didn't see him linked with us, so I'm not trying to buy too much into it. But he's a good centre-back. He's a good centre-back for sure. He did well in Bologna. He was a key part of Bologna reaching the Champions League. He's quite a technical all-round player, not only defenders. We need a passer in midfield. That's why Lo Celso would be helpful. I wouldn't say Lo Celso is much of a passer. He was much more of a driver of the ball. That's where he gave us always the best, you know, Lo Celso, in that side. So when he needed to drive the ball, he was at his best. Ben Davies should leave. He's a squad player. He's someone that accepts his role, that will be also not getting a lot of minutes into a season. Yes, he needs to leave in the long term, but I don't feel like he's a priority right now to push Ben Davies out of the door. If they do, I'm not going to cry about it, but if he stays, I'm not going to cry about it either. Vicario is limited. Yes, Vicario is limited. He's a very good keeper. In goal is one of the best, the second best that we have in Italy after Donnarumma. There are also other very good keepers in Italy, like Di Gregorio, like Carnesecchi. So he's not easy competition, but he's really a top player in goal. The problem is that he's not really very reliable with his feet. He's not really reliable claiming the ball on long crosses, on high crosses. So that's where it's a little bit of a problem. If we get Savio, do you think Johnson role will? If we get Savio, what do you think Johnson role will be like next season? He's going to be a rotational player, a bench player, a player that will get minutes, especially when you need to rotate and to rest the two main guys. That would be Savio and Kudus. Kinski or Vicario, in this moment Vicario, but in the future Kinski. In the future Kinski have that kind of top technique that modern keepers needs to have. He needs to be a little bit more secure with the saves, especially. I feel like in terms of saves is not always reliable yet, but with his feet is much better than Vicario already. So ultimately I feel like as a modern club and as a modern way to play football, you will need someone like Kinski. So I'm very happy that we tried and we got Kinski last season. I feel like he will help us quite a bit. I do not like Kulu as a 10. We need a pass. Yeah, Kulu is not really a passer. That is a good point, to be fair. He's not really a passer. Kulu is more of someone that will drive the ball a lot, will win the physical battle, have a very good first touch, have a very good half turn, but he's not someone that will consistently pass the ball well. So that can be a problem, yes, but he's also someone that has very high IQ. I rate so much Kulusevski, I rate so much his mentality, I rate so much his qualities, that I feel like he can overcome a lot of difficulties, but it's a good point, Johan. I mean, in the end, if you think about it, we talked about the elite passer. Kulusevski is not. Kulusevski is not an elite passer, so it's a good point that you made. I'm such a boomer, though. I'm really such a boomer, to be fair. I've completely cancelled everything on my tactical board. I wanted to end to the stream also talking about what I expect from Savio, but maybe I will do a video very soon about it, so maybe that's a little bit better. Angie or Frank? Morgan Gibbs-White is also not an elite passer, same as Kulu. Yes, you're right, but Morgan Gibbs-White is a little bit better, a better ball striker, a better passer than. So we're almost here. I had in mind to go live for 1 hour, so we have other 2 minutes to really talk, and then we see each other the next time. Morgan Gibbs-White is much better than Kulu at passing. Yes, I agree. Do you rate Odobert? Ooh, so much. I rate so much Odobert that I was okay with the idea of not getting a winger at some point, because I convinced myself that we wouldn't get a winger, so I was okay to not get a winger and to keep Odobert. That's how much I rate Odobert. In the end we get Savinho, so I prefer Savinho. Tell is not good enough, not true. He's not ready yet, but he will improve and he will get to the level that we need him to be. Wonder why no club is trying to rope in El Cannus, because we are doing it, so just wait a little bit and we will see a move for El Cannus, in my opinion. Tell has a top mentality, absolutely. That's why, similarly to Kulusevski, I rate him to overcome a lot of weaknesses and a lot of problems. So I'm sure that Tell will come good for that reason. Like Kulusevski, more or less. Kulusevski have insane mentality. Do you rate Spence? Not particularly high. I feel like he's quite limited. I feel like he you know what's the problem for me with Spence, okay? I'm trying to explain this, but I need a little bit the tactical board. So. Yeah, now I can't. Oh my god. Okay, I can't use the tactical board, but I'm trying to explain myself with words. I hope that you will be able to follow me with words. So the problem that I have with Spence is that, in my opinion, is too limited of a player. So he is a very good defender. We know it. When he plays on the left, especially, in my opinion, he's a top defender. His pace is great, his physicality is insane, his explosiveness, his acceleration, everything. Okay, so you say, why Jakob, why you need to complain too much? Because I feel like he's one of the most limited players in terms of passing that I've ever seen in my life. He keeps the ball way too much on his feet. Okay, he's someone that relies every time in that shielding on the ball. So he received the ball, he put his body between the ball and the defender, and then he turned around the defender and he went. And a lot of time that's very successful. The problem is that against teams that press you very high, he will be a little bit of a problem in that sense. Like we saw against Bayern Munich, for example, is one of the examples, but even against Luton in pre-season we saw that, but even last season, like his passing range and his passing ability is too underwhelming. His decision making is underwhelming. Going forward is underwhelming in my opinion, because he's very fast, he's very pacey, but he never looks like he gets the right cross, he never looks like he gets the right decision. So the thing why I'm still, in the end, I always said on Twitter that I don't like so much Jude Spence, but the thing why I'm calming down on it is because he showed elite level of defending. But if it wasn't for the defending, for me Spence was a championship type of fullback. Like up front, I don't remember the last time that I was really excited about Spence going up front. Guys, even here, tell me if I'm too much, okay? Because I don't remember Spence being ever dangerous offensively. Maybe it's me. Tell or Odober in this moment, in my opinion. Is he better than Morgan Gibbs-White, you reckon? Yes, he's better than Morgan Gibbs-White, Berecese. Offensively, yes. I hope we get a Savio, here we go, by the next stream. Of course, we hope that also, because I can use the tactical board and we can also talk again about Savio. That will be very good as a live, so I hope that's gonna happen. But yes, guys, more or less we reached the 1 hour. I wanted to go 1 hour live because after I have some things to do. So I want to thank you so much for being here again. As always, I'm trying to improve. If you have some suggestion, if you want to see something else, if you want to maybe myself improving in certain things, you can DM me and try to help me if you want. But even if you don't want to help me, even if you don't want to help me on Twitter, I'm asking you, if you can, to subscribe, keep the notification on and the like, because we know, and a lot of you that did YouTube, it's very tough to begin on YouTube. So in this start, I'm very glad that I have people like you being with me live. So if we can improve all together, we will reach very good levels very soon in this platform. So I'm glad that you've been here. So see you the next time, hopefully when Savino will be